Hello, my friends. I am sure that if you are a homeowner, everyone has been telling you, including myself, that you absolutely should put your home on the market, that it is such a crazy seller's market right now, right? But you're probably asking yourself, if it's such a crazy seller's market and if inventory is so low, then how am I going to find someplace else to live, right? Where am I going to go? How many of you homeowners feel that way, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that there are options. There are ways for you to take advantage of this wonderful seller's market and avoid the stress of not having someplace else to go. And we're going to talk about that right now. What's up, you guys? I'm Anne Marie LaTulip with eXp Realty out here in Billerica, Massachusetts, which, as you know, is a small suburb north of Boston. Okay, so what options do you have as a seller to benefit from this insane seller's market and not worry about having someplace to go? Okay, there's a few. Number one, if you have the means and you can afford to find temporary housing, this is the safest way to get your home sold and not worry about buying something on the other end. Right now in this market, it is impossible to get an offer accepted with a home sale contingency, right? So if you have a home to sell and you find something else, your home absolutely must be under contract, but better yet, be sold. A lot of buyers will come to me and say, you know what, I want to buy this property, but I have to sell my house first. And I'll say, well, do you have your house on the market yet? And if they say no, then it's usually a disappointing conversation, because if you don't have your house on the market and you go to buy another house, it's impossible, right? In any market, really, that it's kind of hard, but especially with such competition, that if you have a home sale contingency, it's unlikely that it's going to get accepted at all. But if you don't have your home under contract, it's impossible, right? So the best thing you could do is to put your home on the market, get it sold for top dollar, because that's the market we're in, and find temporary housing for 2-3 months while you look for something else free and clear without a home sale contingency. Number two, if you can't afford to find temporary housing, what we can do is when we list your home for sale, we put in the disclosures that the sale is subject to the seller, you, finding suitable housing. That way, any buyer knows that you're actively looking for a home and that a longer closing time frame might be needed. Now, this isn't an indefinite time frame, right? With negotiations, we would come to an agreement on how long that time frame would be. But that contingency and disclosure in the listing paperwork would tell a buyer that, hey, we're looking for something to buy, so we might not be able to close right away. Okay, and number three is a rent back option. A rent back option is starting to become more and more popular. So what that means is the seller can stay in the home and rent it back until they find suitable housing. Now, this can be very advantageous for a seller because it gives you a little bit of extra time to find something, but there are a lot of pitfalls that could happen. So you want to make sure that this is handled by an attorney who is experienced in these sorts of contracts, right? For example, the number one thing is that most banks will only allow the rent back for 60 days. And another thing is that you must not refer to it as a lease. You must refer to it as a license to occupy. So an experienced attorney will be able to draft that up in a way that is benefiting both parties. So what this would look like would be when we go to list the property, right? In the disclosures or the firm remarks, we would state simply, seller prefers an option to rent back for at least whatever the amount of time is, 30 to 60 days. That way a buyer would know that that's what the seller is looking for. And in this competitive market, if a buyer is able to do that, that would make that buyer stand out from the rest, and it would give you, the seller, some peace of mind knowing that you're not having to, panic and find someplace else right away. Those are some options for you. If you want to talk about any of them in more detail, certainly please reach out to me. My information is below. And as always, if you like my videos, go ahead and click on that little red subscribe button, and I will see you on my next video.